Welcome to ESPN's presentation of Feast Week, presented by Intel.
Virginia, number 38,
holiday greetings from West Virginia. This evening on ESPN HD, thanks to our friends at Phillips, we welcome you to a snowy Thanksgiving 2005. But the stage has been set, and the protagonists, they are fired up for an old rivalry renewed again. Nothing more familiar. Nothing you want more to preserve and protect than your own backyard. But this one is shared, along with memories of battles fought for generations. It is a backyard turned proving grounds for Pittsburgh and West Virginia.
Oh, I would describe it as a football game that you might play in some vacant lot with the kids from the other side of town.
They were playing this game since, before I was even born. Two teams playing against each other in the backyards, just going at it.
In this case, the long history begets pride. The heated rivalry stirs desire on a day for giving thanks with family and friends.
I don't like them. I really don't like them, and they probably don't like us. Our backyard is our backyard.
This game is a blue-collar, workman's-like mentality. Both schools are very similar, and we have a genuine, on-the-field, strong dislike for each other.
You could have the best season in the world, but if you lose that one game to Pitt, it could turn out to be the worst season in the world.
They come together yet again, familiar foes sharing common ground and the belief that it belongs to them. Get you in the mood for the backyard brawl. College football primetime presented by Cooper Tires. Thanksgiving greetings to the Big East. Pittsburgh 5-5 trying to get to a bowl on senior night. The Mountaineers trying to get one step closer to the bowl championship series. On a frigid night. Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Mike Tirico, Kirk Herbstreit, Aaron Andrews joins us in a bit. And there's no place like home for the holidays, so thank you for welcoming us into your homes for the wrap-up of Thanksgiving 2005. Well, Kirk, West Virginia, young team, not a lot expected. Chance to get to the bowl championship series, very simple. Win here tonight and win where it's going to be a little bit warmer at South Florida next Saturday, and they get there. Lots of things have happened. What's the key in your mind to this surprising season?
Well, I've been very surprised by the production from this offense. This is an offense that lost 74% from last year coming into this year. They've turned the reins over to a young redshirt freshman at quarterback in Pat White, who's going to make his third start. And to me, watching Pat White, he's got a lot of the similarities that we saw from Rasheed Marshall, running and throwing from the spread offense. Pittsburgh is going to load up the line to try to take White out of the game, and his running ability and force him to throw will be a very exciting matchup.
Well, Herbie, as we know, there's a lot of buildup. Dave Wannstedt from the NFL comes back to his alma mater, Pittsburgh. Well, they open 0-3, and people say the sky's falling. What's wrong? They've kind of rallied it back together. What do you think has been the turnaround?
Well, I've been really impressed with his ability to stay upbeat. I mean, you're 5-5, you start off 0-3. He has remained positive, and I think that says a lot about him as a head coach and about this program. And I think when you look for a team that's struggling like that, you're looking for leadership, and he has that, thankfully, from some seniors, and H.V. Blades, who's a great player, and Tyler Popko on the other side of the ball. But his attitude has really affected this team and still given him a reason to believe.
It's a very important game for both sides. Pittsburgh can still win a share of the title and get to the bowl championship series. Hard to believe. You saw an indoor game in Detroit, a nice weather game in Dallas. This is real Thanksgiving football. It's cold. They don't like each other. And put down the remote, because we'll be with you all night long.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Zaves. Be brilliant. Intel Centrino. For incredible entertainment in your lap, get Intel Centrino in your laptop. And Singular, raising the bar.
From one stadium to the other, only 74 miles, thus known as the Backyard Brawl. Pittsburgh and West Virginia. And before kickoff on this frigid night, we say happy Thanksgiving to Aaron Andrews.
Hey, happy happy Thanksgiving to you too, Mike. Frigid, a brisk 19 degrees with a wind chill factor of only, 8 degrees? Now an inch of snow covered this field today. Western Virginia head coach Rich Rodriguez told me the field is frozen and I'm not happy about it. I asked the grounds crew about it and they said typically you don't put a tarp on artificial field. Now Dave Wannstedt of Pittsburgh told me they have had his team practice out in the snow for the past 2 days because he didn't want any surprises. He also had all their thermals and warm clothes laid out in front of the team so they would know what they were going to wear. He said, we have 18 Floridians on this team. We can't be cold tonight, guys. You're right.
If you're warm, good luck. If you're not, act it.
Right.
And these people are here, and they are so strong in their numbers tonight on this frigid evening. Bud Light starting laps for the West Virginia Mountaineers will get the ball first. Steve Slayton has scored 11 touchdowns their last 4 games, with White, the freshman, and Owen Schmidt, a big running back. As for the receivers, Bolden, Miles, and Darius Reno, Miles the best of the bunch, 28 receptions on the year. As for the offensive front on senior night, a couple of guys on the ends, and Travis Garrett and Garin Justice, a couple of guys who they didn't think were going to be a big deal in this program, have worked themselves into very solid contributors. We tell you the West Virginia offense because Pittsburgh won the toss, deferred the option of the second half, and the Mountaineers will receive. The punter, Adam Gressel, is set to boot it away. Pittsburgh still alive for BCS hopes, but they need to win to get to a bowl. The Mountaineers control their own destiny. Off we go on Thanksgiving night. Antonio Lewis returned it, took it up to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Mountaineers will get going. Here's the Pittsburgh defense. This bunch is best against the pass. That doesn't fit well against West Virginia. McKillop, Thomas Smith, watch him with a toe injury. Tillman and Sillette from Florida up front. Kirk mentioned E.G. Blades. A linebacker is the most tackles in the Big East. 12 per game. He's with Horn and Clint Session back from injury. Josh Lay and Darrell Revis, those two corners, they are cousins and didn't know it until earlier this season. We'll tell that story later on tonight. Opening drive starts from the 23, and here is Slayton. His good freshman back out of Pennsylvania, gains 6 yards. I think one of the underlying storylines here tonight, a lot of kids from Pennsylvania who know each other, so you'll see a lot of intensity. Here's the Under Armour advantage when the Mountaineers have the ball.
We talked about Pat White, what he has to be able to do along with Steve Slayton. Rich Rodriguez talked about the ability of the team to get to 200 yards rushing. That means they're controlling the clock and they can win the game. If you're Pitt, you're going to give up some yards, but in the red zone, which is where they've excelled, you have to force West Virginia into field goals.
2nd and 4, and Slayton runs it left for about 3. He'll be a yard shy of the first down, and we'll have 3rd and 1 coming up. Chris McKillop, whose brother is the backup linebacker, Scott. This is Chris. They're both from Export, Pennsylvania, and he made the play.
Mike, in this spread offense with Rich Rodriguez, and we'll talk about this throughout the night, he relies a lot on Pat White, the athletic quarterback as a redshirt freshman, and his speed along with Slayton. And you're going to see a variety of formations and different variations of this offense to try to confuse the Pittsburgh defense.
Officially, it's 3rd and 2. White's first throw of the night is incomplete. No flag as they rule H.B. Blades got there right on time. 3 and out for the Mountaineer offense.
Well, for a Pitt defense that's looking for some confidence early in this game against such an explosive offense, this was a huge series to start the game in a rivalry game. Getting White into a passing situation on 3rd and short, Blades makes the play, and now we get a chance to see Pitt's offense with Tyler Palko.
Phil Brady out of Fairfax, Virginia, averages just under 40. Darrell Revis, who brought one back earlier this year, back deep to receive. West Virginia does a lot of different punting. They'll spread them, roll the kicker out. It'll be tough kicking tonight. The ball is freezing cold, and it dives out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So a short punt of 29 yards, and now Tyler Palko leads the Pittsburgh offense out. The Bud Light starting lineups. There is Palko, a Western PA kid, with a freshman, LaRod Stevens-Howling, and Tim Murphy behind him. Greg Lee, an excellent receiver, among the tops per game in the Big East with Kinder and Gill. They like their tight ends a lot at Pittsburgh. As for the guys up front, these are the guys who are going to be tested. Charles Spencer, a senior left tackle, doesn't want this to be his last game. It will be his final game in college if the Panthers don't win tonight. They begin with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and the lone back, Stevens Howling. And a Johnstown PA gets to the 41. This West Virginia defense only giving up 17 a game. Best in the Big East. Here are the individuals. A 3-3-5. Kirk's going to explain it in a minute. Ernest Hunter plays his final game at WVU Mountaineer Field. McClee, his nickname is Boo, along with Jay Henry and Jeff Noshel, another senior in-state here in West Virginia. And then 5 defensive backs. McCant Lorello's the best of the bunch. Wicks, Jamil Adai, and Anthony Mims. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Looks like West Virginia jumped on the nose. Stevens Howling makes them pay right at the 1st and 10 line at the 48-yard line. Boo McClee made the tackle. Our referee tonight is Gerard McGinn. And the officials down there wanted to wish their families a happy Thanksgiving as they're away from home today.
Offsides on the defense. Penalties decline. First down.
Mike, you touched on a 3-3-5 defense for West Virginia and Rich Rodriguez. And one of the advantages is that it's an unusual defense. It's almost like preparing to face the wishbone back in the day. You just, as an offense, you don't see it very often. And the other thing, we'll talk more about it, is you can fill gaps in different ways, in a variety of options.
Gill, the tight end, in motion. Palco for his first toss. 2 lefty starting quarterbacks here tonight. And Tyler completes it out of the backfield to Tim Murphy, just across midfield. A gain of 2.5. Here's the Under Armour advantage when the Panthers are on offense.
Well, for Pitt, it's about pass protection and getting Tyler Palco into rhythm. They've got to be able to protect him, which has been a big concern for them for most of the year. And for West Virginia, creating confusion with the 3-3 stack and playing fast. They understand this scheme. It's their 4th year now in running the system. They've got to play fast.
The change of the snap count does not change the attention of the West Virginia defense. McClee is right there, along with Eric Wicks, the strong safety, to make the stop and force 3rd and long.
Like, no matter what defense you run, it's about getting into your gaps and controlling your gaps. The 3-3-5 allows you to have 8 men up to the line of scrimmage, and you can fill the gaps with different personnel. What it does is it creates havoc for the offensive line trying to communicate as to who to block up front.
3 receivers on 3rd and 10. Palco has time and throws incomplete. It'll be 4th down. He's trying to get it to Steve Bucus, or rather Darrell Strong, the 3rd tight end. And 2 early possessions will force 2 early punts. Adam Gressel is Pittsburgh's punter. Pretty good one, too. Averaged 43 yards last year, just a shade under it. At 42.5, is 2nd in the Big East this year.
Number 6.
Antonio Lewis awaits the kick back at his own 10. The wind that is here tonight is at Gressel's back for the most part, although it can swirl in this stadium. Nice high kick that is fair caught, or going to be fair caught. But Lewis let it out of the way, and the Panthers down it at the 17, covered by the younger of the 2 McKillop's. Tyler Palco and company trying to stay warm on this frigid Thanksgiving night in Morgantown. Well, your holiday weekend continues on Saturday night. Feast week rolls on. College football primetime presented by Polaroid. North Carolina needs it to get to a bowl. Virginia Tech needs it to get to the ACC title game. Like tonight, available in high definition on ESPN HD at 7:45 Eastern Time. Mountaineers take over from their own 18, and Slayton was the fake. The run by the quarterback White takes it across the 35, held on to a little bit long on the sideline. Don't see a flag, but it is a 1st down. Gain of 19. Oh, there's a flag very late as the conversation continued over there in the bench area. Let's see what that flag is, because that was not on the player being taken out of bounds. Don't know if it was something that was said to one of the officials, but they certainly threw it 5 or 6 seconds after the fact. Still a nice job by Pat White out of Alabama, running for 19. It looks like it'll be against West Virginia.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. On West Virginia, number 33. 15-yard penalty. Remains first.